Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to section 4.2. This section is an introduction to probability. So let's get started with classical probability. If all outcomes are equally likely, then the probability of event E happening is P of E is equal to N of E over N total. So let me explain what this notation means. For those of you who've done pre-calc, it's function notation. For everybody else, P of E is just the probability of whatever the event is that's contained within the bracket happening. On the right, we've got N of E, that's the number of ways that event can happen. And then N total on the bottom is the total number of outcomes that you can have. So let's write a couple of notes down. P of E then is the probability handwriting's terrible today. Try that again. Probability of E happening. And where N of E is equal to the number of ways E can happen, and N total is equal to the total number of outcomes. We also need a little bit of vocabulary, so let's learn a couple of new terms. Simple event, that is the outcome observed on a single repetition of an experiment. So for example, you flip a coin and you get heads. Then heads is your simple event. It is one of the two possible outcomes. I know that there are some people who say, yes, what happens if it lands on its edge? That's a very low probability outcome, and I'm just not going to consider it right now. Now, for classical probability, each outcome has to be equally likely. So if you have a fair coin in which it's equally likely to get either a head or a tail, then you can use the ideas of classical probability. If, however, you have an unfair coin that is more likely to come up with heads than tails, or the other way around, then not all outcomes are equally likely. Let's look at one other idea here, which is the sample space. It is the complete set of all possible outcomes and so for our example, we'll use the same example. You flip a coin, then the sample space will just be heads or tails. If you, for example, roll a 6-sided die, then you can have 6 possible outcomes. You roll a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6.